let's just ignore the fact that it looks like Garth is coming out of Esmund's crotch. Okay? Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's Irene here, and today I will be doing part 2 of my Shad's revenge theory, which I uploaded the first part about a month ago, and yeah, so I've been kind of bad about uploading these parts, and I apologize, but I kind of already explained it in a previous video. But before I go any further, I would just like to clear something up. So some of you caught an error I made in my previous theory video, and I would like to address it really quick. And I'm basically going to be quoting myself from a comment I wrote in that video, so this may be a little bit repetitive for you if you have already read said comment. Anyway, I'd forgotten to mention how I believe that it was Lawrence who had once mentioned that time works differently in the Nether opposed to how it works in the overworld, and therefore time in the overworld moves a lot faster than it does in the Nether. Garte could have very well undergone the ritual of a normal Shadow Knight, which, I agree, would have taken a decent amount of time in the Nether. In the overworld, however, I don't believe that it would have appeared to have taken as much time. Maybe in the overworld, it would have seemed to have only been a few days, when in the Nether, it could have been, let's say, 2 weeks. So, let's say that Garte's doctors, perhaps under the influence of Shad, told Ziana and the rest of the Romeo family to give Garte a few days to recover. This would be roughly enough time to perform the ritual in the Nether, for more time would have passed there. So, again, it's my fault for not making this clear in the first part of this theory trilogy, I guess you could say. So for that, I do apologize. I was just being stupid. Now that that's all been said and done, let's get into the actual video. So, about a month ago, I said that Garte, Garth, Lawrence, Zane, and I would really like to quickly just add the King of Tula to that list for reasons that I will explain later on, were all a part of this elaborate scheme created by Shad in order for him to get revenge on Irene. Yet I only covered how Garte was a part of this whole plan, by stating that he is a Shadow Knight. I will have that video linked in the description, by the way. So today, it's Garth and Lawrence's turn, the Romeo brothers, minus Vlad. I decided to tackle Garth and Zane in the same video because their roles in Shad's plan go hand in hand. And here's why. I've seriously lost count of how many times I've brought up Garth's betrayal in a theory video of mine, but that's because it's just so important in so many of my theories. By now, we already know how this story goes. Zane sends Lillian to create the illusion of APHMAU and Lawrence kissing. Garth sees the illusion. Garth becomes Sad Mountain and locks himself in his room. And then after the war with Scales when the Phoenix dropped, Garth betrays APHMAU like a little butt. When Ziana confirmed that there has always been something evil about Zane, even as a child, I decided to take this into account. Because especially when it was revealed that Zane used to possess Esmund's relic, I thought, why would Esmund's relic choose Zane as its catalyst opposed to Garth? But then it hit me. What if Shad had something to do with it? If I'm right, Shad has already manipulated one member of the Romeo family. Remember, Zane was young when Garte began to undergo his changes. And no, not those kinds of changes. Zane was very impressionable around that age, therefore a very easy target for Shad. So let's say that Shad was the one who molded Zane into the little evil butthole that he is. P.S. I do love Zane in my history, but that's not what we're talking about. And with the power invested in him, bestowed Esmund's relic upon Zane. Shad would then have 2 members of the Romeo family, again, one of the most powerful families that we know of in the Minecraft Diaries universe, acting under his command, having both of them commit evil deeds prior to and over the course of the series. However, unlike Garte, I believe that Zane is not a Shadow Knight. Instead, the power of Esmund's relic and perhaps additional powers granted to him by Shad allowed for Zane to do things such as cursing Alexis and beginning the Shadow Knight ritual on Lords Luke and Bert. Now, getting back to Garth, when Zane ordered for Lillian to show Garth that illusion, I believe that this was one of Shad's commands, because this action would allow for Shad to plot 2 of Esmund's, one of Irene's former friends and divine warriors, Descendants, against her, thus leading to the events of episode 100. But you may ask, Raven, why would Shad lead Irene back to her own dimension, which harbored her relic? Because Shad knew about the events that were going to unfold in the dimension. He knew that Garth was going to stay behind to fend off Zane, and he knew that APHMAU was going to do everything in her power to get Garth back, which, as Zoe has stated, would have killed her. To sum up this theory, Shad used Zane to do his bidding in many cases throughout the series, very similar to Garth. Shad then used Zane to convince Garth to betray APHMAU. Together, both of them led APHMAU back to her own dimension. Shad knew that Zane and Garth would remain trapped in the Irene dimension for a considerable amount of time. He also knew that APHMAU wouldn't rest until Garth returned safely to the overworld. Therefore, if his scheme had gone according to plan, APHMAU would have been dead. However, as we know, that isn't the case, which is what I will cover in a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. As usual, tell me if you agree with this theory, if you think it's completely and utterly wrong. Let me know why down below in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.